Economics report is setting off an alarm about children in America in the workforce. It says that across the country, states are trying to weaken child labor laws. Fox 5 team's Dana Fowl is here with some of that research. Dana?
I was pretty surprised when this came across my desk. I wasn't expecting it. It doesn't really feel like a 2023 worry, but it is. Take a look at this headline. The headline from the Economic Policy Institute says child labor laws are under attack, and that violations of the current laws are rising. The report reads that they're seeing child labor law violations in meat packing and manufacturing jobs. These states, it says, want this low-wage labor, and so they're trying to weaken state laws coming in actual contradiction with federal protections. There has been a 37% increase in child labor violations in the last year alone. At least 10 states just in the last 2 years have introduced or passed legislation to roll back child protections. Children from poverty, children of color, and immigrant children are the most vulnerable.
You know, when I was a wee lad, my first job was as I was getting into high school. And I started out, a friend of the family got me a job as a stock boy and delivery boy in a hardware store chain. It was a nice little place to work for. I worked on the weekends, made my money, so I was able to pay for school. I paid my way through school. I paid my way through high school, and I paid my way through trade school at the time. And the thing about it is that back then, kids had a good choice because there were organizations, there were groups that worked with kids, you know, high school kids, to get jobs during the summer, especially during the summer, that allowed them to, you know, work a bit, make a little bit of money. But there are rules and regulations. Even in Hollywood, there are rules and regulations when you're dealing with children. But now we're looking at that there are places that want to remove these restrictions. They want to remove what kids can get hired for on there. I mean, we've already seen situations where factories, blown out factories, have been caught with migrant children, illegal migrant children, using them to clean up factories, processing plants, chemical spills. We've already seen this happen, and it's illegal. And now you have states that wants to take that away, those protections, and move us back to a time period before child labor laws. Have they not realized, have they not seen the videos out of Africa and third world countries where children are working in factories, they're working in mines, you know, some of them barefooted, that basically they're being poisoned slowly by the work that they're doing. But they're not caring because they said, oh, we need a workforce. We need you know, pay a workforce what you're supposed to pay for. Train a proper workforce. And, you know, and I always keep saying this. We need to bring shop and home economics back to the schools. There are schools out there with shop and home economics, and they're doing very well, but we need that across the board like it used to be. Because there are kids out there that will learn a trade, they grow up, they, you know, because the thing about it is, you know, you hear kids today, they say, well, I want to be a content creator and all that because I'll make a lot of money. Hey, listen, being a plumber, being an electrician, being a mechanic makes a lot of money. A lot more money than what you think you can get out of content creating. So in the state of Iowa, we're finding out that they're signing a bill they've already signed the bill, and this was right before the holiday, to loosen the child labor laws. But before we read this out of CNN Politics, I just wanted to take this moment to thank all of you for clicking on this video. If you haven't yet, hit that like, share this video with friends, family, enemies, and hopefully today I've earned your subscription. And for those of you already subscribed, please make sure you are still subscribed, as YouTube tends to remove subscriptions from time to time. And remember, if you wish to help support this channel, there are several links in the description below, including a merch shop with new anime-themed shirts and mugs now available. Once again, thank you for your support, and make sure you hit that notification bell to make sure you receive all our notifications on Cuticast TV and all of our programming across all of our social media platforms. Thank you once again. From CNN Politics, Iowa governor signs bill to loosen child labor laws. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed a bill Friday that loosens child labor laws by extending the hours that teens can work and the establishments where they can be employed. The state legislature passed the GOP-led bill earlier this month, largely among party lines. After weeks of fierce debate, Democrats argued that easing the rules would endanger children and distract them from school and extracurricular activities, while the bill backers maintained that it would provide greater job opportunity. Iowa joins several states that have introduced or enact legislation aimed to loosening child labor laws. With the legislation, Iowa joins 20 other states providing tailored, common sense labor provisions that allow young adults to develop their skills in the workforce, Reynolds said in a statement. In Iowa, we understand that there's dignity in work. We pride ourselves on our strong work ethic, instilling those values into the next generation and providing opportunities for young adults to earn and save to build a better life should be available, she added. This is not the way to do it. Reynolds, whose signature was expected, has been a proponent of expanding the youth employment opportunities. Last year, she signed a bill that lowered the minimum age requirement, providing unsupervised care to school-aged children in child facilities to 16. Under the newly signed law, 14 and 15-year-olds are allowed to work 2 additional hours per day when school is in session. From 4 to 6 hours, they are able to work until 9 p.m. during most of the year until 11 p.m. from June 1st to Labor Day, 2 hours later than previous allowed. 16 and 17-year-olds are now permitted to work the same as an adult. The law also allows teens as young as 16 to serve alcohol in restaurants. Wrong thing to do. During the hours food is being served, if the employer has written permission from the parent or guardian. It is also required that 2 adults be present while the teen serves alcohol, and for the team to complete a training on prevention and response to sexual harassment. Among the expanded employee opportunities outlined under the new law, 14 and 15-year-olds will be able to do certain times work in industrial laundry services, in freezers, meat coolers, areas that were previously prohibited. This is a danger. This is where the robot from Lost in Space come out. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. The law also gives authority to the directors of the Education and Workforce Development departments to provide an exception to the work hours and some of the prohibited work areas to teens 16 and older who are enrolled in a qualified work-based learning programs. As the bill made its way through state legislature, opponents of the measure argued that it could not only endanger the safety of children, but it would also target teens from lower income and minority backgrounds. However, proponents said that the bill does not require any child to work and pointed out to a provision that eliminates exemptions previously allowing children under the age of 14 to work, including selling newspapers and other items door to door. The law is part of a broader effort by states to loosen child labor laws. Arkansas governor signed a bill in March that allows youth under the age of 16 to be employed without a work certificate, which that is incorrect. and New Jersey and New Hampshire have enacted laws to extend work hours. Several states, including Minnesota and Missouri, have also recently introduced similar bills, according to the Economic Policy Institute. The thing is, understand this. Understand that adding more hours during school period is incorrect. Because the kid still needs to do his homework. He needs to come home to eat. He needs sleep. Young children need to be in bed by at least 9 p.m. The younger you go, like young kids under 12 should be in bed at 8 p.m. They need their sleep, not to work. And the thing about it is, they're going to be families, they're going to take advantage of the situation. Single parent homes that they're trying to struggle with the bills, they're going to take their kids out of school and have them work. This is going to happen. These are the things that are. This is what I said. Training comes from the school. There were many programs out there, especially like in New York City. There were programs out there that basically, especially when you got to senior year of high school, and I went on this, that you spend time in the workplace, that you go through if you're approved, your grades are within that are accepted in that situation, that basically you can go to spend a semester. Like for me, I spent a semester in a travel agency. Yeah, I really, truly, I went to work in a travel agency, and I worked as an assistant. I was printing up tickets. I was contacting customers. It was things that I was able to learn. And I got paid for, and think about this, I got my lunch paid. I earned certain dollars and stuff like that, payments for that. And it got me to learn business. And there were many other businesses, and you may say to yourself, oh, why didn't you go into broadcasting? I tried. Believe me, I tried on there. I mean, with the education I had, a lot of them didn't take me because they wanted someone that was inexperienced. They wanted someone new. They knew I had a lot of experience in the business. They didn't want to hire someone that was already well experienced on there. But then I said, let me try something different that, if things didn't work out, I'll be able to move into another business. And the thing about it is that I was offered a job at the end of my internship. This was an internship, literally. I could have stayed on the firm many years later. And this happens. People do work, do these things, these internships, in the end of their high school years and into their college years. And like I said, shop and home economics should be brought back in heavily. This is where we teach the kids to learn, to get a profession into their lives. Not to throw them into the workforce. This is what you're doing. You're throwing them into the workforce. I learned to work in the hours that I did. I went to school, did the hours that within the law situations on there, did my work, was able to have fun, and still I was able to work. By the time I reached later in my years getting toward the end of the high school, my original job, the job that I took, they gave me the keys to the store. I was able to open the store on the weekends for them. Was able to sit there, put the key in the door, get the store ready, manager would show up, we're doing that. And then for a while, I ended up to be a manager for a while in that store. That's how much trust they had, and I worked hard. This is how you start out. You all cannot start out in factories. There are people that will flip a burger every once in a while, or maybe do a delivery, or newspapers or something to that nature. We do need that type of work to be done out there. And this is how kids learn. They develop their skills by being educated into the workforce, not to be thrown into the workforce, into a factory situation where there may be chemicals that, they're not taught for. Because let me tell you something. When I got to work for Home Depot, they teach you, the difference on chemicals and chemical spills and stuff like that. If you're going to throw a child into that same function for them to learn that stuff, that's going to be an issue. It will be an issue in itself. Not that Home Depot would hire kids, but there are factories out there that have done it already. This is not funny. This is, to the situation. You're not letting kids grow up. You're taking the childhood, you're taking the teenage years, you're taking all that away from kids. And it's a shame. It is a real true shame that they're doing this. I've said before, they've taken away the kids' cartoons. They're trying to take away the video games, their favorite shows. They've taken away playing in the parks, on the slides, dodgeball. They're taking away some of the food to eat. The chocolate milk. We've discussed this, and the thing is that you look at what is going on throughout the country and how children are pushed away from being children. We don't have the family unit anymore like it used to be. Most of the kids are growing up with their moms. That's not the way it's supposed to be. I had a large family. I said, thank God. My mom and dad had their issues. They loved both me and my brother, and they did separate at a certain point, but we had other male and female figures in our family. We had our cousins, our aunts, our uncles, who were always around us. That's the type of family we were. That's the type of family we don't see today. So tell me in the comments below your thoughts of the situation. Do you agree with this or do you disagree with this? Because it's very important on there. Be sure to share this with others because, people need to know that this is going on. Also, don't forget to hit that like, hit the notification bell, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription on all of our social media platforms. So until next time, thank you for clicking on this video and have a good day.